YouTube, Shuken Shinobi here with a review of the Power Rangers Megaforce Power Ranger Blaster. That has to be the most generic name for a Power Ranger toy I've ever seen in my life, and we've had some pretty bad ones. But whatever, this is the, basically our version of the Gosei Blaster. I do not actually own the Gosei Blaster to do a comparison, unfortunately, but I know what it does and everything, so I will bring that up as we go over this. Comes with one power card, and it does have a pretty cool feature where you can launch the Zord, the little header, from the port right here by pushing this down, and that's a feature that the Japanese version didn't have, so it gives you a little bit more functionality that the Japanese one didn't have, so I think that's nice, aside from the generic name. And then back here just shows the other basic weapon, which is the Robo Morpher, and then the deluxe weapon with the Gosei Morpher. So we'll take a look at those whenever this guy gets released, and that will have already been up at this point. So let's get it open, take a look, and launch some Zords. It's the Power Ranger Blaster, also known as the most generically named weapon ever, which leads me to believe that the blasters in the show aren't even going to be named anything. They're just going to be like, arm your blasters, and that's it. And they didn't want to write just Blaster on a package. So Power Ranger Blaster is what we get with this dinky little thing. This is actually an attack mode. Default-wise, you get, stay down, this as your gun. I always made fun of the Goseigers for having the dinkiest looking sidearm ever, which may be wrong. Not too familiar with my show with Sentai's, but yeah. The Gosei Blaster actually wasn't too much bigger than this. I do believe it had a little bit more heft to it. I know the Japanese release had different sounds depending on which header you attached on there. There's one for Seek, one for Skyke, and one for Landic. So those all had different sounds, and then you had just the generic sound when there was no header attached. This chamber, I think, lit up various colors, I believe. And obviously it had a lot more paint, I believe. So, yeah, this is a very generic looking little blaster. You got this little knob on here, which looks kind of silly. It looks like it actually fires from right there instead of right there. So that's kind of silly, I think. But it fits comfortably in my tiny little hands. If you got bigger hands than me, which isn't that difficult to do, then you're probably going to have a difficult time holding this comfortably. But it's still what it is. Giant orange fin here, an orange tip, because I guess because of the plastic colors. I could go into U.S. safety laws, but I don't think that applies to something like this. So you get a couple different firing sounds, but before that there is an on and off switch right here. So flip that on, and you get the generic Goseiger turn on noise. That was all angelic and stuff. It does run off two LR44 batteries that are included. Same with the Robo Morpher, so you don't have to worry about popping in AA's or AAA's or whatever. So yeah, you get three different firing sounds. That. That. And that. It is entirely random. We just happened to get all three in a row, so that was nice. So yeah, they just kind of cycle through. Now, like I said before, you can attach the Zords to the blaster. It comes with this Dragon Zord, which is cool that it does come with this. The Japanese release came with a Dragon header and a Shark header that have their visors down, which this is the form that they take when they attach to the blaster. Their visors go down and their mouths open to reveal like a gun. So yeah, these were released. I think the other three were only released through like Gashapon header toys or something like that. But yeah, it's cool that it does come with this. You can attach it to the Goseiger Megazord if you want to. The little visor up here doesn't move or anything. It's just a solid piece. But the fact it does come with that has some interchangeability with the Zords that you buy is pretty cool. So like I said, these just attach, and then that fin pops up, and you get no new noises. So this does absolutely nothing besides make this pop up. But there is an action feature. I can't accurately show this because I'm lazy, but if you were to set this on the edge of a table, this button would press down. From there, the instructions tell you to take this fin and push it down. That happens. It's supposed to be a launching gimmick to where if you have it leveled on the table and it goes and launches off. However, the force of that little tiny peg isn't enough to actually make it launch anywhere. This button unlocks the Zord while the fin piece pushes it. That's fine and dandy, except it works for absolute balls. I have found a better way of launching these. I prefer to not put it on a table because that's silly. Hold down this part, the fin, and then press the bottom button. And you can see that launches with a lot more force. Just to kind of give a comparison, I am shooting this from the edge of my review station the real way. That trickled its way over there, and here it is my way. Bounces pretty hefty. It does go quite a bit further if you do it my way with that, as opposed to that. So I prefer to do it like that. And like I said before, you can attach any header. We'll just use Zord. We'll just use the Crow Zord in honor of Trunk Monkey teaching me all about crows the other day. So like I said, you can attach that, and bam, crow. Just got crowed and stuff. I mean, it's cool that they do this. Granted, it is supposed to be for something friendly, like making them launch off a table. But that's no fun when you can shoot Zords at people. That's a lot more fun, I think. Screw races, I can shoot you in the face with a crow. I'm having way too much fun with this. So yeah, that's all this thing does, is play those 3 sounds and fire Zords at people. And come with this Dragon Zord. It's blind. Yep. So, I like it to an extent. I think it's no replacement for the Gosei Blaster, considering all the different sounds the Gosei Blaster made. But given the fact if you're buying the American toys, the Gosei Blaster ain't going to do crap for you because you need the Japanese headers in order to make those sounds. So it's kind of pointless in that regard. For $14.99, it's not a bad toy, or well, $17.99 at Toys R Us, $14.99 everywhere else that's not Toys R Us. It's not a bad toy, but I think we've had some better sidearms in that price range. The spin sword with sounds come to mind I like better than this. The Barracuda blade I even like better than this, honestly. But it's not horrible. I just don't really like the design of Goseiger's blaster. So, therefore, I don't really like Megaforce's blaster. I just think it's kind of silly looking. But, adding in the Zord launching ability is something that makes this a win for me. And if it didn't have that ability, I honestly wouldn't like this toy much at all. But given that was included, I find it very fun to launch Zords across my room. So, the child in me loves it in that regard. So, I have to give credit where credit's due. They added something really fun to this. And the power card that comes with this is the Dragon Zord card. This one right here, P025. So hopefully we get the other Zord cards somehow, either in booster packs or whatever. But Dragon Zord came with the gun. Dragon Zord card came with the gun. So very cool. So you can check out shukenshinobi.com for all the latest updates on my reviews and hauls. And of course, when I eventually get the Gosei Blaster, you can check out a comparison between the two on my Megaforce vs. Goseiger comparison page. And of course, check out ridersrangersandrambles.com, the podcast bringing the latest token news in the craziest way possible. So take care and have a great one. Bye.